Just maybe I can help you guys with some math on the health insurance issue, since that seems to be kind of a hot topic right now. The average doctor salary, I had to look this up, is about 220 odd thousand to 250 per year. Let's go to the high side and call it 250K a year. Now that, by the way, is before taxes, because then their personal income taxes are going to take a big old bite out of that, and they're going to be living on enough money to make Porsche Cayenne payments and look cool at parties, and that's about it. So if that's the number for doctors, I then cross-referenced this and said, okay, what's the average health insurance premium being paid by people? And it comes out to about $8,000. I had to look it up twice. I couldn't believe it. About $8,000 per person. So a family is, according to the national averages, and this is just a simple Google search, was just over $25,000 per year. That means that all it would take for a doctor, in theory, to just have not very many clients at all and very many customers would be having 10 families, and that's it. In other words, 10 families could get together and put a doctor literally on staff. Is anybody starting to finally get what I've been saying for many years now, that the idea of insurance is absurd when you look at the money involved? And you could say, like, well, but what about the taxes? Fuck the taxes. I don't know how much more plain I can make that. Fuck the taxes. Well, but the guys with guns. Yeah, I know. I remember a couple of days ago I said, yeah, there's a reason why you were never supposed to give up your guns. You know, and the hardest part is going to be the conservatives having to reconcile that, because right now the so-called conservatives are in charge of things, and they're not going to get rid of any gun laws. I know they won't. They're too chicken shit, you know, and they're in on the scam, as with most people. They're, you know, like 50 to 70% of GDP is just a scam economy now. It's people moving money around. They're just constantly borrowing money and then moving money around and then borrowing more money. That's all it is. Nobody's actually paying for anything. They just keep borrowing. So when you have an economy like that's not a real economy, you understand? That's just people hoping that. That's people gambling, hoping that they're able to walk away from the table with something after gambling and being drunk the whole time. And I mean, that's really all it is. So, yeah, I mean, just something to think about, you know, that maybe it's time to fuck the taxes, fuck all the regulations, you know, fuck all that bullshit. Don't worry about it. Like, well, but what about the doctor? The doctor, they can pull his license. You realize when you pull somebody's license, right, their knowledge doesn't go away, right? They don't extract your medical knowledge. Like, let's say that your driver's license is suspended, right? You don't forget how to drive a car, right? Right. I mean, if some douchebag, you know, floppy dolphin dick fucking pig motherfucker pulls you over and says, that's it, you know, we're taking your license, or some P3DO judge who went to the island, right? He says, we're revoking your license, blah, blah, blah. You realize, again, you don't stop knowing how to drive a car. They pull your pilot's license, you still know how to fly a plane for the most part. I mean, pretty much every pilot I've ever met, even if they didn't have a license, they would still know how to fly straight and level and be able to land properly. So, yeah. So, yeah, fuck all this nonsense. I mean, this is time to just move on with all of this and start running your own economy altogether. And people are just going to start, and just don't trust any of the fucking feds. Don't trust any of the fucking pigs. You know, let those fuckers, you know, I mean, like, seriously, I mean, go watch Seven Samurai. You know, there's a movie called Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa, and it's a wonderful film, and if you haven't seen it, you should. There's a lot of philosophy there. It's not just a visually spectacular movie. There's also a lot to learn from that film too, and one of which is that, like, yeah, I mean, don't offer any quarter for these fuckers. I mean, like, they're the ones who brought all this on themselves. So at any point, you can stop ripping everybody off. It's the truth. You can become a real boy, and you can stop ripping people off, and you can grow a fucking conscience. But until then, it's like, nah, dude, you're not beholden to do anything for them. So